Hello, well met. Welcome to episode 7 of Twilight of the Realms. Our intrepid adventurers have a new destination, but they need some transportation to get there. So here we go. I'm Eric Scott to be the DM of this and other campaigns on the Dungeons Scholars channel, founder of the channel. I've been doing this shit for 5 years and I love it, and I'm grateful for all of you who are still putting up with us. It is a good time. I am a writer and game designer. You can see some of my books on the shelves behind me. I recently came out with the third book in my superhero series, Justice Vengeance. The fourth book I'm writing right now. I'm 60,000 words into it. It's going great. I'm hoping that gets published by sometime in 2025. It's a lot about punching Nazis, and that seems very, relevant to the zeitgeist. Also, the Dungeon Scrawlers has great Discord. We talk about this game and other games. We have a great meme discussion. We talk about other video games and stuff. It's a great community, and community is very important in the time when evil is ascendant. On that note, take it away, Allie.
Hi everybody, I am Alexander Pitchford, or Allie for short. I'm a author, game designer, and TTRPG streamer, and today I'm playing Shay Darksong, who, when last we left, was very determined to go steal Vayne's ship back, because it's something that can get her closer to what she wants, and it's a distraction from the awful reality she's existing in right now. And that's where I'm at. I've got no projects really to talk about right now, but I'm working on some stories that are more for me. And then I'm going to be giving some revisions to my vampire novel that I'm working on.
She's too modest. Check out her Patreon. She posts stories there all the time, and she's got stuff. And there's good stuff coming. It's just all secret hush right now.
Yes.
Cora.
Hello, my name is Cora. I am a writer and game designer as well. I don't have anything to really promote at the moment. Someday soon, hopefully. But I am playing Callista, our wonderful face-scarred ranger, who has finally decided to open up and reveal just how deep those scars run. But it would be boring if everything was out there in the open. So there'll be more to cut. There will be more to come.
Gradual process of revelation.
Baby steps. We're getting there. I am also going to be taking over from Eric for telling you about 2 of our really awesome sponsors. Both of them specialize in dice. Both of them have very unique and what I think are cool ways of approaching it. In a realm where most people out there are being armed with plastic dice to have to face their enemies, Norse Foundry has gone a step above and beyond in providing their warriors with metal dice, giving them the ability to smash skillfully through the enemy horde that they're facing. They're really neat. I really like their metal dice. I actually have a set of my own, which, if you're like me and I'm very sensory with my dice. I really like them. I really like the weight of them. I think that they're neat. Also, if you check out their website, norsefoundry.com, they have a really awesome collaboration that they've got up on their page right now for the, I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's Feyweave. It's the Feyweave collaboration. They're really pretty dice. I really like the design. There's a non-zero chance that I may end up with a new pair of dice in the not so far future.
Sweet.
So yeah, I definitely encourage checking them out. For our other dice sponsor, they have named themselves after the mythical creature that rises from the ashes. Phoenix Dice specializes in reusing old material to create new dice for people like you. All of the material that they work with is recycled. They're constantly working on testing out new designs and new materials that they can use. If you're a very environmentally conscious gamer, then they're a great group to check out, phoenixdice.com. And both of those sponsors have a bunch of different accessories. So yeah. From there, Jen.
Hello. My name is Jen. I go by Savage Sparrow on the internet. SavageSparrow.com is my super awesome website for amazing apparel and accessories. You can go there right now. We have a couple designs up for pre-order. Definitely check them out. Patreon.com/SavageSparrow is my Patreon where you can view my really cool art that, like for example, the stuff I made for this campaign. Today I am playing Ilmarin, and she is the aberrant mind Sorkadin, who is, thankfully did not make strength a dump stat because she is carrying the emotional labor of the party. Amanda, go for it.
You tend to fall into characters like that, Jen. I'm just saying. It's like you have a type. Hi, friends.
Well, in my defense, it's like everybody wants to go off, and then somebody has to be like, "Okay, cats."
I feel like the DM probably really appreciates you hoarding cats in character so that he doesn't have to wrangle everybody from the outside. Hello, friends. I am once again here to visit this campaign. I serve at the pleasure of the DM, and he wanted me back, so here I am. My name is Amanda Cherry. I am an author, actor, MC, musician, and unapologetic Eric's Gotta Be fangirl. I am back again this week with nothing to promote, but I'm very excited to be once again stepping into the Sperry topsiders of Vayne, also known as Lady Blackblade. All she wants is her boat, and also possibly to hook up with Cora's character. And she has now stumbled into this murderous band of ruffians who just so happen to need a fast ship. And so, hey, 2 birds, 1 stone. Let's get going to the marina.
Possibly 3 birds.
All the birds, every bird.
Birds are real.
The seagull, the heron, and the albatross. We're doing it all together. And also tonight, I am so thrilled that as a union actor who got my SAG card doing commercials, I have finally been invited to read an ad for this channel. I'm so excited to tell you about one of our sponsors, and that is Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms.
Woo!
Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons & Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure. And that includes Faraday, Havilar, and Mayhem from the Brimstone Angels novels. And you know you love an Aaron M. Evans moment. The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam and web, Epic Game Store, Google Play, Xbox Series X and Series S, PlayStation 5, iPad, and on all Android devices. For more information about this amazing game that is one of our beloved sponsors here on the Dungeons & Scrawlers channel, please check them out at idlechampions.com.
That was great. Only small note is that it's Farida, but that's it. All right.
And get a pronunciation guide.
Yeah. That's right. You got the ad read like 30 seconds before we started recording.
That was a very
That was really good.
Yeah. And don't feel bad. I did the same thing the first time I read it.
So do most people, but
Aaron's gonna be in my DMs tomorrow.
Right, first of all, how dare you?
The Brimstone Angels books are fantastic, and you should check them out.
You really should.
That's what we're saying.
Absolutely.
It'll be impressive that she will be, because this won't air for several weeks.
Okay, fair. Like
in
the future tomorrow.
You have time to brace yourself.
So I'm gonna know
like a time
when
bomb
the
that's
episode
aimed at Aaron M.
aired.
Evans.
Yeah. I'm gonna know when the episode aired because my phone's gonna blow.
What you could do, as a preemptive play, if you know she's gonna watch the thing, is like time it so that way like flowers arrive at her door, and then
Addressed to Farida, right?
With a little phonetic pronunciation next to it.
And then it's like how can you be mad at that point? Like then it's just impressive and you look really cool.
The amount of hot sauce I'm going to have to eat the next time I'm at her house. I'm just saying.
And
will
if you are
say-
here
oh.
from Idle Champions, use the code down below to get yourself some free stuff. It is a fun game that's been chugging along. It's been supporting the Dungeon Scrawlers since the beginning, and we're really grateful. Yeah, thank you very much, Dungeon Scrawlers. And because of the time dilation and how this is going to air somewhere in the middle of April, I just wanted to give a brief shout out to Jen, who is doing some stuff for Sakura-Con, which might be coming up this week or maybe next week. And
Oh yeah.
if you're investing in some art and some swag from Sakura-Con, you are looking at a Jen Brazos original. So, yeah.
It's racist, but yes.
All right.
All with the pronunciations today. I do want to say real quick, Kay, who plays Sorrow, is not with us today, sadly. She's not feeling too good, so, just she is missed.
Real love.
All the love.
Indeed. Jen, I
I
had known
like
you for
how
like
we're
5
all
years and
doing-
didn't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry.
All doing this
You were
version
so
of the heart.
good.
Yeah.
It's the Swifty version of the heart. Like, there's some new Gen Z version of a heart that my fingers will not do.
No, I cannot do it. Yeah, I've
I feel like
tried.
it's an age test at this point. Like,
What?
if you can do it, it's like I can't even do it. It's like here and then it's
Oh.
like sleep.
Yeah,
like
it's
this or
the-
something.
the
I can't do it.
fingers.
I physically
don't
cannot
know.
do it.
Like
Eric, look
this-
it up. It's like the Gen Z heart
is it
or
this
whatever.
one?
But it's like
okay.
I can't do it. I used to could spell blood with my fingers, and now I can't. I'm showing my age.
Is it
here.
the thing when you go down an escalator and you go
Is
like
that
this
it?
and you just see who's gonna?
No,
I don't
no,
know.
Okay.
You're almost there, Jen. See,
I'm
you're younger
almost
than me.
there.
You're
I'm
younger than me. You can almost do the.
This is the kind of riveting content you can
Yeah.
expect on the Twilight of the Realms stream. All right,
I'm
But-
All right.
distracting people. All right, no, really. Let's go steal a sailboat.
let's get into the D and D. Okay, so when last we left, the party had a new destination in mind and needs a way to get there. Vayne, their recent acquaintance, although a couple of them have already met Vayne long ago,
In the before time.
seems to have a quick way to get to this destination. However, it's going to take some doing to acquire this ship. So, we're going to start off with the party up in the docks of Westgate, looking at the Chromium, which is Vayne's ship, which is docked in a heavily guarded Bleth dock, guarded by fire knives. So the fire knives are that's the name of the police force, essentially, that Regante Bleth has brought into being in Westgate to maintain order in this time of turmoil. On the one hand, they are less bribable and corruptible than the various personal bodyguard armies of the various nobles in the city. On the other hand, they are former assassins in a thieves guild. So, Shay has some history with the fire knives.
Yeah, back when
If-
they
in
were
fact-
in Assassins and Thieves Guilds.
Anybody who has spent any time in Westgate has some history with the fire knives, but Shay especially. Okay. Sorrow is there. I'm going to be NPCing her. She still feels a little queasy, but she wants to support the party, and she was told that there might be smashing involved. So she's here to smash things.
Sorrow is always pro smashing.
Hmm. That's
In
right.
numerous senses of the term.
That's correct. So you look down at the ship. It is heavily guarded. It looks like a sailing vessel, an exotic sailing vessel. It is composed of kind of a silvery metal, however. Most ships are made of wood, right? The Chromium appears to be entirely made of metal. How that floats on the water? Hard to say. Are any of you shipwrights except for Vayne, who is a sailor by trade? No, but that is the ship. It's hard to miss. Apparently, the ship was impounded under circumstances that Vayne hasn't elaborated upon. If you would like to elaborate, you may.
Absolutely not. No, dude, that's on a need to know basis, and they don't.
I feel like Ilmarin would just like have literally been like, well, have you tried asking them? Like, is there a way we can resolve this? Like, is it just money? Is it just like what is going on?
They have demanded a certain amount of coin to get yourself out of impound. However, the ship is also of great interest to the Bleths because it is, well, very powerful. So the fine for getting it out of impound is 1,000 gold pieces, which is a lot.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot. And I've only got 600 on me, so.
Or the actual price being 0, and we just steal it because it's mine.
I mean, I'm not opposed to this.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Zero is a better number.
And honestly, any chance to screw over the fire knives, I'm down with that.
Here's to that.
The fire knives?
Yes, the fire knives are, well, they used to be one of the many thieves guilds in Westgate, and then they decided to go quote unquote legit when their boss became the Cromark. So now they're the police instead of the thieves and assassins.
Like I said, bastards.
So
Oh, absolutely.
they are unjustly using their power to oppress others? Is that-
Probably.
Huh. Sorrow says, depends on how you look at it.
That is what I am asking, is how do you look at it? Is this the case where, this is actively breaking a law, in which case are we going to be looking at more than half the country coming after us for, and then just repeating this process over again? Or...
Bleth is the Cromark of the city. Fire knives work for her, so technically they are the law. Not that I care. I'm just pointing that out. So, if we piss off the fire knives, we probably want to get out of the city pretty soon.
Convenient that that's
Also-
exactly what a ship will be used for.
Given that,
Sorry, I was like, yeah.
given that when the Night Masks were ceremoniously ousted from their role as the prime thieves guild in the city, somebody had to step in, and I was actually smart enough to parlay Lady Nasselin's criminal networks into solidifying some power here. So, I think that if the fire knives want to raise a stink with me and mine, they're welcome to try.
You gonna do some thief stuff? Sorry, says?
Absolutely. That's what I do best.
Bribery, intimidation, murder. Like, I'm best in intimidation, murder. I'm not so good at bribery. I am broke.
Intimidation, I think, will be sufficient. I don't think murder has to be on the table.
Why not?
I cannot emphasize how broke I am.
There's not going to be any coin changing hands. We're going to
Good.
break in. We're
Good.
going to steal the ship, and we're going to
My
get
ship.
the hells out of Dodge.
So we're gonna
Correct.
steal the ship back.
Correct.
And then we're
Yes.
gonna go. Then
It
we're
is
gonna go
rightfully
sailing.
mine. You're wondering about an injustice. The ship is rightfully mine.
Ah,
Also,
no.
no. Someone was wondering about an injustice. I am
Yeah.
saying the ship is rightfully mine. They oughtn't to have taken it. You will be returning a piece of property to its rightful owner, and justly rewarded. I promise you.
And maybe,
Justly.
maybe,
So we
maybe
slip-
punching some fire knives.
So we slip by them and get you to the helm, and we get away.
Correct.
I am not very stealthy.
That doesn't sound violent enough.
I have a way to
Well,
handle that.
You
As
mean the
do I.
violence?
No, the stealth.
There may be a few stationed aboard her. I can't promise there's not.
Oh.
We get aboard, we get untied. Those of you hungry for violence, search the ship, toss any of them overboard that you happen to find. They'll die a slow, watery death.
Or they could not, you know.
We are leaving it up to chance. Correct. We put them in the sea and let the sea handle the problem. If they can swim to shore, good for them.
Look,
Didn't
Ilmar,
some crazy red-haired elf kill the Quel'Zarn or something? They should be fine if we just ditch them in the harbor.
probably. But Ilmarin,
Yes.
it is of the Dark Maiden's tenets that, yes, we do offer them the chance to stand down. We offer them the chance to not fight us. But if it comes to it, the faithful of the Dark Maiden, we have no qualms about ending the fight.
Yes, but I do not believe that there is a difference between ending the fight and ensuring slow, horrible torture for the person you are ending. And it is
I'm
the
not-
latter that I have objections.
No.
I
I'm
said
not
nothing about torture. I said sink or swim. It's up to them.
Let's meet in the middle and see how well Sorrow can aim for the docks.
Zara seems pleased by that suggestion.
Then we have at least the bones of a plan. Question
I will-
becomes,
I will quickly go over like stuff that we don't have to do in character that the audience doesn't necessarily need to hear. The how you untie a ship from a cave. Like what we're gonna do, what rope needs to come first, what rope needs to come last, that I'm gonna be steering, here's what we're gonna do, and then we're gonna put this sail down. Like an actual plan of this is how to make the ship move.
Yep. Like how they've secured it, if the anchor is down, how to raise the anchor, and how to make the thing move. I will note that the Chromium has a special motivational force, which is a helm that is inside the main steering compartment, which Vayne is attuned to. So, in order to make the ship, in order to move the ship under its own magical propulsion, Vayne would need to reach the helm. It does have sails, however, so you could, in theory, move it using wind power. Just not as effectively as the magical propulsion.
And it actually would take longer to like put up the sails, get everything trimmed, and get us into the wind in such a way that's gonna move us, especially. We can really go into the intricacies of sailing right now, but we don't have to. I think the faster thing is gonna be to just get Vayne to the wheelhouse, to turn on the engine, and we will motor out of the harbor, and then
That's
and
plan
then
A.
we'll put the sails up once we're like out to sea, because motor sailing will be faster and more efficient. But
You do also mention the anchor issue, which I briefly glossed over. They have probably dropped the anchor, and somebody would need to haul that up. Probably somebody strong.
yeah,
So
I will figure out whoever volunteers to be the muscle. I'll tell them how to use the windlass and how to weigh the anchor.
Muscle is kind of my thing, Zara says.
Cool. So I will give Sorrow a brief rundown of how to use the windlass, how to weigh the anchor, and to tell me when a certain. Okay, I'm gonna be a nerd for a minute. On your anchor road and or your anchor chain, you're gonna have marks that tell you how much has been paid out, so that you know when you're about to run out of road, so that you don't let the anchor go all of the rope to the bottom of the body of water, right? So I'm gonna explain that the first time you see one of those marks, I need to know that, because what that's gonna tell me is that we're at least a certain number of feet off the bottom, and I can start moving the vessel. As long as the anchor's off the bottom, if it's an emergency, we can go. We don't have to wait till the anchor is all the way home.
Okay.
So,
I actually had Sarah make an intelligence check to follow everything that you're saying, and she rolled pretty high.
cool.
So instead of just saying, "I'm sorry, I was distracted. You're really pretty," she says, "You're really pretty, and I think I got it." Okay, let's do this.
We can't
The
hear you.
question
Allie.
becomes, I know, the question, I figured it out. The question becomes, how do we get over there? Because you said, what was the what were we looking at again, as far as like the layout? And...
So there's a fenced dock area where a number of ships are docked, crates are loaded and unloaded, supplies are stored. There are warehouses. It's not like a modern shipping dock where they're like the big shipping containers, but it's kind of a similar vibe, right? You'd be moving among buildings or through one of the buildings, or you'd be navigating the open yard and taking cover behind storage crates. So you have basically 3 options unless you want to get really creative. Like, you want to go underwater, you want to fly, you want to teleport, something like that.
Vayne
And
is
there's the
definitely,
fence
like,
to get through.
Yeah.
At Shay, because like it feels like Shay is the person that's gonna know all of the breaking and entering. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
once we're on the ship, I can be in charge. But until we get on the ship, I have very little idea what we're doing.
There is a watchtower above the dock, which has one of Westgate's more recent additions of a lighthouse, more or less, that indicates where the dock is. This has cut down on shipping mishaps and crashes in the harbor, because up until Bleth took over, there was much less organization to how shipping worked in Westgate. It was kind of a free-for-all, and if you could get in with under your own power with light and not crash, then you were up on the capitalist ladder. But Bleth has instituted this lighthouse, which kind of helps everybody. So, but it also doubles as a watchtower with a spotlight of reflected light that they can shine down on the dock.
Okay.
And again, this
Alright.
is very theater of the mind, so I don't have like a map to push you through. It's just like it's just like a ongoing story.
Yeah,
that we're doing.
absolutely. With the
So the first question is: are you going to try and sneak in, or are you going to try and bribe or talk your way in,
I mean,
or something else?
Shay's impulse is going to be to try to sneak in. The less coin, that passes their hands, and the less awareness they have, the better.
Vayne's
Okay.
gonna agree with that, and if we get caught, that's when the murders start. But the murders could start quietly.
Or, if we get caught, I can try to talk to them.
Or we don't get caught.
I like that one. I like
But it's
that.
definitely my plan.
Okay.
Yes.
Which route might provide us the best cover?
And you said there's kind of like a path that we could once we get past the wall anyway, we could probably kind of sneak
Yeah.
beyond.
So you have to get past the fence, basically, and then you could either go through the yard, which would have less cover and you'd be easier to spot by the watchtower. But you can see the guards patrolling the yard.
Mhm.
Or you could go through one of the warehouses. You don't know what's inside those warehouses.
Okay.
Or you can try and go between the warehouses, which is not as well observed by the watchtower, but has less cover. Like, there aren't the storage crates that you could take cover behind. So there are basically those 3 options.
Okay. And I'll kind of relay all of that, kind of to the rest of the party. Just be like, so those are the ways that we have open to us right now. They each kind of come with their challenges and potential risks, but
Vayne, do you have a way to teleport?
Player is not sure. I am checking. It does not appear so.
I'm pretty sure Vayne knows the Dimension Door spell.
Okay.
So you could teleport yourself and one other person 100 feet.
Okay.
well, and Shadar-Kai have a little like
A short-term shadow
built-in
Yeah.
jaunt
Misty Step,
ability.
yeah.
Got it.
And you also know the Missy Step spell.
Okay.
So that would get us past the wall. Like Shay could take Ilmarin with her, and then everybody else could bamf over.
I can take Sorrow.
Oh, is that Sorrow too? Well, I can also take Sorrow. Well, I can take Sorrow, but I promised I would ask first.
Then you take 2 people.
Sorrow's like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to jaunt through the shadows again. Oh, no. No, thank you.
All right,
Here's-
then. Go ahead.
I'll take Sorrow. You take Vayne.
All right.
I have a spell that should help us with cover. If we time it right, you and I can teleport everyone right onto the ship, step by step.
Brilliant. Let's do that one. And then Ilmarin won't get all in a tizzy, lest there be murder. We don't want any tizzies on the ship.
What is this word?
Slang term for distress.
It's common. Don't worry about it. Common is weird.
Probably a halfling borrowed word, Sorrow says.
Sailing term.
Well,
Like I said, halfling.
so Shay will keep an eye out and look for a good spot that they could potentially jump to that will be kind of fairly out of sight. That won't get them immediately spotted by the watchtower.
Okay.
And Shay, would you prefer a 4 count or a 5 count for our jumps?
Let's do 4.
On 4.
On 4.
Okay. I'm going to need you to make a perception check to kind of time it properly. To analyze how the guard rotations are.
I
Is
want to
that a
ask
check
a
that
question.
others can do?
Yeah, anyone who's doing the teleporting needs to do this.
If it's
Um,
in chat, can I add? Oh, okay. I was gonna add.
Everybody did real well. I want to ask quickly, how are we tied? Are we side tied? Are we med tied? Like, how are we tied? How is the ship tied up?
You mean how is the
The
boat
ship tied up?
tied up?
Are we?
It is tied up as much as they can.
Okay. The question: are we side tied? Are we med tied? Are we bow in? Like, how are we tied?
Getting real technical sailing shit going on today. I love it.
I literally want to be
the
able to tell
boat
you.
is side tied,
Side tied. Thank you. Okay.
which is probably the least convenient way to be
you-
tied in.
A med tie would probably be worse, but I'm not gonna let you
Okay.
con that.
Sure.
So we're side tied. One of the things I want to do is sort of let you know, those of you who are going to be doing the teleportation. This is my ship. I know things about her. I can tell you sort of where on the deck the shadows are going to be more likely to fall. So we may have an extra couple of seconds if we wind up there versus like maybe farther forward or whatever. To seek better cover aboard before we get spotted.
Perfect.
All
Jen,
right.
you had a question?
I had the question of is the boat like inside the building, or is it like there is fortress and then boat is like on other side of fortress?
This is a good question. Okay, so there are 2 warehouses, okay, in the middle of the dock. Then there's some empty space, and then there are several piers that extend out from the dock. It is between 2 of those piers, and it is tied up on the side, on the starboard side in this case.
Okay. Because the other thing, like, Ilmarin would say is just that I can style right there.
You'd also be a ripe target for pin cushioning.
Let's not do that.
You do know that the guards who are patrolling the docks are armed with crossbows and swords of some kind.
Well, I did get a 25 on that perception.
Okay, so Metal Gear Solid over here is able to teleport you in, no problem. You get into a kind of like not very well observed spot when the guard has passed and the watchtower light is shining elsewhere. Okay,
Yeah,
you're
it's
basically at the this side of the dock buildings.
And I have a question. Have you had the honor, I suppose, of traveling through the shadows before? If I'm taking both that's
okay.
to Ilmarin and I guess and Vayne.
I don't think we have.
I don't think so either. So
Vayne
it is,
has.
Yeah,
I
was gonna say,
imagine
feel
Vayne
like,
has.
I feel like that's a yeah, we've had that moment.
Like, this is very natural and like
Yeah.
almost nostalgic for Vayne.
not
Yeah.
Is this going to be okay given that you're and like Ilmarin's like looking at the shadow like sus like given that your shadow is not who we all thought they were?
It's not my shadow. It will be fine. Just hold on tight and try not to look down.
Okay. Cora had a question.
I was just gonna say that while we're like set up and prepping, Callista's gonna go ahead and cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay, so shadows surround all of you when you're close to Callista. Like, Callista is radiating this dark miasma of Fey energy that is shielding you from sight.
And Vayne likes being close to Callista anyway, so this is good. This is all very cozy.
Also, if anyone is anxious and I do have guidance, which is the thing I was gonna say before you made the check before. So if there are crucial checks, just let me give you a boop.
Fair. Fair.
I didn't hear what Callista got on the perception check.
23.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to use the guidance as well?
Sure.
Okay.
What does guidance do?
What?
Add a D4 to any ability check using the chosen skill.
You just know that 25 was a pretty big success.
Well, now I also have a 25. So.
Great.
Yay!
Yep.
All right, so you two arrive kind of just across a short distance from each other, but like both in good hiding spots.
Yeah.
Callista is there with Sorrow. Shay is there with Ilmarin and Vayne.
Yes.
And Sorrow
And
says,
we-
"Oh, that was much more pleasant."
Yeah. And
I
it is
tried.
it is a very disorienting trip for someone who hasn't done it before, I will say, for Ilmarin's reference.
Ilmarin, make a wisdom saving throw, please.
A 13.
Okay. It was a very unsettling and disturbing trip through the shadows for you. You want to give us some description there, Allie?
Yeah, it is a vertigo-inducing, kind of warped, shadowy reflection of reality. Like, everything's kind of effed up and twisted, and it's creepy and weird, and there doesn't feel like there's really an up and down. It's just wrong.
And if you're somebody who hears voices, that's probably worse, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna say that Ilmarin looks pretty spooked and is probably like around Shay's paleness when she goes out of there.
Here's the extra wrinkle, Ilmarin.
Oh, no.
When you were teleporting through the shadow, you felt like you were much smaller than you really are. Like you look down at your hands and they were tiny, like a child's hands.
Okay. So yeah, she's just kind of like gets out of there and is shaking and then just kind of like, you know, looks at her hands and then clutches them and takes a breath and, you know, seemingly is at peace, but like, you know, it's a bit spooked.
I'm gonna
Shay,
put a
when you
hand on her
arrive,
shoulder
yeah, okay.
and be like, just tell me
She
you
would
don't
flinch
get
at that.
Just tell me you don't get seasick.
I have not actually been on an ocean, so I do not know.
Speaking of seasickness, Shay, you come out of the shadows feeling nauseous. Not that the shadows cause you to be nauseous, but the real world outside the shadows causes you to feel nauseated. I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh, good. That's so one of my best. Yeah.
It
that's-
is.
It's actually not. It's not my worst, but it's a 10.
Okay, you feel an overwhelming urge to vomit.
All right. Yeah. She like so. As soon as we come out, Shay has a moment where she looks fine, and then she just kind of like turns and doubles over and just throws up next to this crate they're hiding behind.
Yep.
Oh damn, do you get seasick?
No, I don't.
You do hear some voices from not too far away say, "Huh? What was that?"
And Callista's just gonna immediately just like hold up the 4 count to start counting down for the next jump
Yeah.
to the next piece of cover.
Okay, Shay, you're trying to pull yourself together. Like it feels like the world that you have come back to is too dense. There's too much matter, too much material. Everything is too heavy and everything is too close. Like the air feels heavy on your face and everything feels like it's
Too thick.
pushing down oppressively on you. Like it's somehow become 200% humidity all of a sudden.
The worst
Oh.
over stimulation feeling ever.
Oh
Exactly.
no, yeah. Oh God,
Mhm.
yeah. So she's just like, oh, okay, right. So she'll try to pull herself together for the countdown, and when the count.
Real fast, as it's counting down, I feel like Ilmarin would just like awkwardly take Sorrow's hand.
Oh,
Only
You're
for
not-
them to be
you're
separated.
not over
because
by
they're
Sorrow
going different
because-
Oh, right, right,
levels.
right. Okay.
You're like
okay.
across the way. You can think about Sorrow though.
Okay.
Sorrow's over there and she's looking over at you and she sees Shay like just pouring this black viscous vomit into the ground.
Ugh.
Like, Shay, you're not really paying attention to what your vomit looks like, but everyone who's nearby her, which is say Ilmarin and
Yeah.
Vayne, you see that she's throwing up black blood all over the ground. Sorrow is looking over like, is happening over there? and Callista, you I don't know, it makes sense to you.
She's trying to stay on task because for her, hiding from something is an experienced skill that she has.
Okay.
Under pressure, you have to she's very used to under pressure. You need to keep moving.
Okay. The count is still going down. She's still making those finger movements. And then you're gonna teleport. Okay. So now I need Shay to make that perception check with disadvantage because vomiting a lot throws off your perception.
yeah.
Who would have thunk
Yeah.
it?
Mhm.
Callista, you are still a flat roll. Go ahead and
Okay.
make your checks.
Okay, you said with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Let's do this. Oh, I got a
Don't
12.
forget guidance.
Okay, guidance. So D4.
I got a 17.
Okay.
Hey, I got so with that 4 from guidance, it's a 16.
right?
Yeah.
All right, so you appear on the other side of the building. Like you, if you had to see where you were going, right? You could still peer down between the buildings, and you just kind of teleport on the other side of the buildings. It's a little like flight hangars at like a naval airbase, right?
Right.
With kind of like rounded ceilings on these warehouses. You didn't go in the warehouses, so you didn't deal with anything that was in there. But you appear on the other side, and you are in the open for a moment. You expected there to be more crates and stuff here, but it seems that you have arrived in an area that has already been cleared, and you see some work people continuing, like finishing up hauling those crates into one of the warehouses. They don't seem to have noticed you immediately. What actions do you want to take? There are
that
also
was-
guards that are near that warehouse entrance who could see you if you don't get out of there. And you see the light from the watchtower is starting to creep over this way.
And that was our group or both groups?
Both groups. I mean,
Okay.
Callista's group is a little bit closer to cover, but you're both pretty much in the open.
Okay.
In case anyone is curious, this is you didn't bot the check, but you didn't
Right.
succeed well enough to be out of danger.
Great.
Graduated success.
How close is the nearest cover?
Within your movement. Like 20 feet away, you can duck behind crates.
Then I think Callista will just kind of grab Sorrow and pull Sorrow along and move quickly into cover.
Okay, I'm gonna need all of you
Yeah.
to make an initiative check.
Oh.
13.
13, okay.
12.
Okay,
13.
Terrible. 11.
okay. You're a little bit surprised and a little bit disoriented, but you're still able to move before the watchtower light gets over to you. However, you disperse in different directions, and now you cannot see each other, your groups. You're still in your groups. Shay, you again have that overwhelming urge to vomit, and it feels worse now. Like you feel like your spirit is uncomfortably situated in your body. Like your body is heavy and weighing you down. And if you only broke free, you would be relieved of this pain. Make a Constitution save.
Okay. Great. That's yeah. That's cool. All right.
No doubt, no
10.
doubt.
That's a 10. That's a 10.
Okay. You advance to stage 2 of that illness that you have.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So, those of you who are near Shay, Shay didn't even realize she was sick until this moment. Those of you who are near Shay, you see that she seems indistinct. Like her visage blends in with her surroundings, and you can see through her a little bit.
Arcana?
Which is a bit like when the Shadar-Kai teleport and then they are insubstantial, right?
Mhm.
So Vayne recognizes this, but Vayne, you've never seen a non-Shadar-Kai do this. So it's a little strange to see this probably drow woman do this.
Can I roll Arcana to see if I can figure out what the F is going on?
Yes, both of you can make Arcana checks.
Okay.
Oh, that was terrible.
Let's see. I can guidance
Oh, it was not
myself,
as
right?
terrible as I thought. I forget I got a big bonus there. So it's 21.
Okay.
Hey.
I got a 12.
All right. Let me. Oh man, I gotta scroll up a little bit to find this. Okay. Da, 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 da. Okay, here we go. So, what did you say you got, Ilmarin?
I got a 12, unless you can... Can you guidance yourself? You can guidance yourself, right?
You can, yes.
Alright, fuck it. I got a 14.
Okay. Shay has some kind of disease or curse, which has something to do with shadows. Vayne, you can identify specifically that Shay is under the effect of a curse called Lingering Lament, which gradually turns someone into a wraith. It is something that happens to Shadar-Kai who turn to cannibalism, as in they drink the blood of other Shadar-Kai to enhance their own shadow nature, or to give themselves stimulation so they don't fade away and die of ennui. So really, it's kind of a cost-benefit analysis as to whether you're going to die of boredom or turn into a wraith from being ill. So it's pretty harsh, though, and you're not entirely sure how this elf caught it.
Yeah, that's concerning.
I really love Mana's expression, like, ooh.
You need to move.
Okay. At this point, I'm gonna need everyone to make a stealth check. Now, I should make it clear that Callista and Sorrow are still under the effect of the Pass Without Trace, so they have significant bonus. The rest of you are too far away for that to apply to you.
Oh no, a stealth check. Whatever will I do?
I got lucky.
Okay.
Oh look, I got a 28. Oh no.
All right. Shay is hard to see even for you two.
I managed to roll a 15, and then with my guidance, it's an 18!
Great. Vayne?
21.
Okay,
I got very lucky.
good.
Same.
All right, Vayne, you kind of sense the light from the watchtower approaching, and you slink back into the shadows in a way that you've seen your former colleague Brandis do on occasion. He was the thief of the party. Well, technically, he was a monk as well as a thief. It was complicated. He was wonderful and mad, and you may have killed him. You're not really sure. Your memory is a little bit fuzzy on this point. And Shay is basically like a wraith in the shadows. And Ilmarin is gazing at Shay in concern. And then the light starts coming, and Ilmarin's like, oh, shit, and starts to move, but the light catches her. And then it stops and refocuses, bathing your whole party in bright light. Shay, when this bright light hits you, you are dazzled, as if by sunlight sensitivity, which you now have, by the way. Ilmarin, you've only been on the surface so long, so sunlight is still uncomfortable for you, but I think you've got over your sunlight sensitivity, unless that's still a thing on your character.
I hadn't thought about it, so it's
Great.
up to you.
Yeah, no, you've mostly acclimated, but you don't like
Correct.
direct sunlight like this. And as soon as the light falls upon you, an alarm goes off. Like this horn starts from the watchtower.
I was so proud of myself for actually rolling good win.
I know, you just didn't hit the DC, that's all.
And
Okay.
for the party, is that group of 3 or?
That is that group of 3.
Oh, okay.
Callista and Sorrow, you are still hidden because the other group has been spotted by the watchtower. What did you get on your stealth check, by the way, Callista?
37.
Yeah, no problem. Like, even with Sorrow, like, growling next to you. You're still keeping yourself very well hidden. You see guards starting to move toward the other party, though. They're pulling out their crossbows. And,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
So I do know where the other party is now.
you do. Yeah.
Yay!
Mostly because the light is shining down on them. Shay, like, you are just experiencing intense pain being in this light.
Yeah. And she was born on the surface, so like she did get some sensitivity when she became a Dhampir, but
Yeah, but
this
is like
different.
nothing you have ever encountered before. Like, you can feel your essence starting to drain away in this light.
She's gonna immediately try to stagger out of the light as quickly as she can. Like
Okay.
almost instinctually.
All right, so I'm gonna go one by one and ask you what actions you want to take. So, Shay, you are trying to escape the light and get back to a place where you can hide.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You. Why don't you make me a dexterity saving throw, please? You do have
Dexterity saving
disadvantage
throw.
from being in direct sunlight.
Oh, great. Cool.
This watchtower is a very effective lighthouse for ships at sea because it redirects basically a beam of daylight, right? It's also very effective against vampires. Westgate apparently has an issue with vampires historically.
15.
15. Okay. Yeah, you managed to escape the light barely. Like, you're sucking wind, right? Just like, and your body is still wants to purge more of this black blood, right? You're just not having a good day. But you slip between a couple of crates out of the light.
Okay. I do have one so there's one thing I want to try to do, if at all possible.
Yeah.
So
you still have
we
an
know
action.
now-
What do you want to?
We know now that that thing that's pretending to be my shadow is not my shadow, and he said the shadow is inside me still. Can I summon it?
Interesting. You want to try using your shadow summoning power?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You are pretty sure that you are a shadow, more or less. Like, it feels like your body has stopped being physical and become like a shadow. But a shadow, sure enough, does appear. It is not your shadow. It is your passenger, your dark
damn it.
passenger, if you will.
I'll just be
And
like,
he communicates to you, you are in peril, my lady. Follow me, and I shall get you to safety.
no shit. Where? You said my shadow was in me. Where is it?
Trapped. Not by me. By you.
We need to get onto that ship.
Great. Follow me. Leave those others behind. They are of no consequence.
No, we need them.
Shadow keeps going. Starts heading away.
And she'll kind of, cringe a little bit, look over at the others, and then in Drow sign, she'll try to gesture follow to Ilmarin.
Okay.
And then stagger off after the shadow.
Ilmarin, it's a little bit like watching a shadow puppet on the crate, right?
Oh wow.
But you do see the
Yeah.
you do see that sign. Okay. Let's do Callista. Callista, what do you want to do?
Okay. So question 1, how close are Callista and Sorrow to being able to get on the ship?
One more teleport, or just like 2 rounds of full-on dashing movement.
Okay. So Callista, kind of seeing the situation, seeing the people preparing to aim crossbolts, she's going to turn to Sorrow and be like, get to the ship, start preparing it, I'll get the others. And then she'll split off towards the group.
And run from a fight? I think not. You find Sorrow running right next to you.
I can only teleport so many people, so
That's okay.
yeah, okay.
Okay. Do you wanna cast a spell of some kind?
No, I was just gonna try to get to somebody to dimension door them.
Okay. So you're basically dashing over to the other group.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Got 40
all
feet
right.
of movement.
All right. So that's gonna take you more than the one round, but you can probably get there on the next round with a normal movement. Okay.
Actually, if I move the 40 and then teleport, because I can do both of those and still cast dimension door.
Yeah, you could get over there and grab one of them. Ilmarin
Okay.
is the most easy to see. Right?
Yep.
Because
So
she's standing there in the light going, ah!
Ilmarin doesn't crime.
so Callista
Let's
runs
talk
over,
about this!
will teleport the last 30, appear right next to Ilmarin, grab her
Callista
and say,
appears
relax,
out of the swirling twilight.
relax. And then she will speak the word in Sylvan and dimension door Ilmarin onto the ship.
Okay.
Great. All right. Ilmarin, you feel like the sensation of abruptly falling backward. It's like you're falling asleep and you just step into the pothole, right? And you just right? But in the opposite direction. Like you
Okay.
step into the pothole and you go, whoa. And then abruptly you were standing on the deck of the ship.
Okay.
You hear Sorrow bellowing, "Hey, come get me! Here I am!" And like this burst of flame emerges like on the middle of the dock. Okay, Ilmarin, actions.
I would like to try to do something about that watchtower, and by that I mean I would like to grab whatever object on the ship is sufficient enough to break that light and telekinetically yeet it at it.
This is amazing. Okay, there are like a number of crates and like boulders on the
Okay.
ship. Like they're not entirely sure how a ship would come by boulders, but that's what's on the ship. Broken pieces of statuary.
Okay, that's kind of weird, but you know, yeah, I figured she'll grab a boulder and just eat it at the watchtower light.
Okay, make a spell attack, please.
Okay. What level would you need me to cast it at for doing this?
Oh, just the basic. I think it's a 5th level spell, right?
I think so.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Yes. Okay, cool. I just want to confirm.
Like you pick up a boulder that weighs like 50 pounds or something, and you yeet that.
Alright.
Sufficient.
Ah, dang. I got an 11?
Okay, the boulder skips off the side of the tower, doesn't hit the lens. You do hear breaking glass though.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, and you hear shouts of alarm from the tower.
Well,
We're just doing our jobs, and then a giant threw a rock at us from the night.
yeah. Maybe you shouldn't be messing with towers and spotlighting people.
Okay, Vayne.
Yeah.
It's all gone sideways.
Yeah, this is bad. I don't like this.
The light fell upon you. Shay disappeared. She just like flitted off into the shadows. Callista appeared. Maybe gave you like a little like nod of acknowledgement, and then teleported Ilmarin away, leaving you on your own.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, guys.
Well,
Big
so
help. You can't
my-
sail the ship without me, though. So, like,
my
I don't know
plan-
what you think you're doing.
my plan was sound. I told Ilmarin to follow, and I thought Ilmarin was going to tell you, hey, Shay said follow, and then Ilmarin got teleported away. So
No. So I'm not gonna.
That's what happened.
Have any time, so.
I'm not
This is
gonna
what
follow
happens
your
when you
mind.
don't have a psychic group chat that you're all talking about the plan in.
I'm not gonna tell your boss you did anything wrong, but like, yeah. So, how far am I from the nearest point of the vessel?
1 teleportation or 2 rounds of movement will get you onto
Perfect.
the ship.
Then that's all we're gonna do, because you did in fact point out to me that I can do that. Let me go find it. Hold on, it's down here.
You do know the spell Dimension Door, so you could do that
okay,
and teleport yourself onto the ship.
I also have Misty Step, so I can
You
like,
could go
basically
and-
vanish and reappear on the ship.
It's just that the ship is like 100 feet away. So that's why I'm saying 2 rounds of movement with dash would be like 120 feet. But 1 Dimension Door is 100 feet.
Then yeah,
and
we're doing
that's
that.
sufficient. Okay.
Yeah, we're doing that.
Do
I
you
would like to
want
be on
to-
my boat.
Do you want to go grab Sorrow? Or do you want to just take yourself onto the ship?
Oh, that's hard. That's hard.
Mhm.
How is Sorrow faring against the bad guys? Because Sorrow
She's
wanted
making a big fiery distraction.
which is great. Sorrow did want a cheery spot of violence, and I would hate to rob her of that. But also I would like to be aboard my vessel now. So yeah, I'm gonna snatch her and take
Okay.
her with me. I'll apologize later.
All right. Sarah's out there. Her brand has started to glow with this, golden light, which is flowing off into kind of like antlers that rise up from her head. And she has her big sword, hack, right? Which is fully a foot wide, okay? And she's deflecting crossbow bolts by holding up this sword.
Which is
And you-
heckin' cool, and I would like her to do that on the deck of the ship next, please.
Yeah, you run over. She looks at you, and her eyes are glowing bright golden colored, and she looks at you like you're a threat. But you're moving too fast, and you come and grab her, finish the spell, and shove her through the portal. Dimension Door takes you onto the deck of the ship. Teleportation like this is old hat for Vayne, so you're not staggered or disoriented in any way.
Cool. I
Sorrow is like, aha, aha. What?
So-
What? Where am I? Oh, more crossbow bolts. Ping,
Yeah.
ping, ping.
I've known Sorrow for approximately 45 minutes, and the one thing I am sure about is that I can leave this person on the deck of the ship, and they are going to be fine.
Yep.
So I am going to
definitely.
take off running toward the wheelhouse, because if I don't get this engine started, we're SOL.
Vayne is extremely intelligent. You remember that it is Sorrow's job to lift the anchor. Do you remind her of that?
I will yell, "Weigh the anchor," as I run the other way. Hopefully that's like comprehensible in this current state of mind that we have. But
Right. Fuck. There we go. There's our one.
there's
I had to give it to Kay. I know she likes to claim it. She's like, I have a job. That's right. Anchor. Right. She goes over the anchor wheel. Okay. So now, since you're all on the, all of you except Shay are on the ship, which means that the objective now is to get the ship off,
Up,
unsecured so that you can get it out. Vayne is headed down to the helm. Okay. Shay, you are still moving amongst the crates toward the ship. And like I said, the world is blurry and your eyes are still dazzled by all that light. And you're following the shadow, which is definitely a man's shadow, and it's definitely not your shadow in any
Yeah.
way. It's definitely a different person. But like you feel like he's more distinct now. Like he has an actual body. It's made of shadow stuff, but you can see him as more than just a reflection on the wall, right?
Mhm.
And you're running, you're following him. And then you see someone else down a different way. It's Illyra again, dressed in black leather with a night mask. Or at least you think it's Illyra. It is a is shaped like Illyra. It has her hair, but the expression on her face is more predatory than you've ever seen her look at you or anyone. And she's looking at you and she says, "This way, pet. This way." What do you do?
Shut up. She'll he's like, you're not there. And she'll keep staggering and running for the ship.
Okay. Keep following the shadow toward the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Assuming the shadow is going toward the ship. It's kind of hard to see exactly where you're going because the crates are big and stacked all around you, right? But you're making your way through the maze. Okay, Callista, you're on the ship. You have successfully delivered Ilmarin, who is like a little dazed, but that's pretty common with teleportation. What do you do
Okay.
now that you're on the ship?
So Callista's going to come out of that teleportation already in stride, making her way over to the gangplank, I think. And as she's going to be casting another spell, which as she does, some of that energy, that magical energy, seems kind of pours off of her and takes a small humanoid shape as a phase sprite that she has summoned, decorated in like it's like an unusual gray armor. It kind of blends in, but there is a band of black across the eyes. And she just continues in her stride, and she points out to the docks and says, "Go cause chaos."
Key question. Does it have a red hat?
It does not.
Okay. All right.
It does not.
So the face spirit goes and it leaps over off the ship onto the docks. Okay. What job, Vayne, did Callista get assigned in freeing up the ship?
I would have put Callista on bow ropes, so the bow line and the forward spring line.
Okay. So there are numerous lines attaching the ship to the dock, and they're probably fairly easy to cut through, especially with your magical weapons, right? The scimitar would be much better than the rapier for cutting through those.
Yeah,
So-
now that you've said that, it occurs to both player and character that, like, I never said don't cut the ropes. I meant untie them, but yeah,
Right.
you're probably going to cut them, and that's going to upset me later, but,
Callista
you
would
know
have
how
checked on that,
expensive
actually.
line is? Oh my god.
Well, I'm gonna
Callista probably actually
consult
would
with
have checked
you.
on that.
I'm gonna consult with you on your next action to see what you end up doing.
Yeah,
So-
Callista's going to start untying them.
I think plan A is to untie the ropes. Plan B, if you run out of time, is to cut the ropes.
Okay.
Right? Right? Does that
Yeah.
seem reasonable?
I've got things buying time. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. Ilmarin, you're on the deck. You were disoriented. That teleportation, you didn't have any weird, like, the world was different or you were in a different body. Like, it felt like you were still you and you were still teleporting here. Now that you're on the deck, Callista, she says something to you, but you don't really, it doesn't connect. Like, you're still kind of putting your, you're still discombobulated, putting your senses back together. And now you're on the deck. Sorrow is still there, and she's grumbling and saying, anchor wheel, anchor wheel. Just looking around, and then she's going to take off to go find the anchor wheel.
Okay.
And you're standing there. What was Ilmarin's job in the planning?
Stern line, so the aft spring line and the stern line. Basically, I had sort of figured out that Ilmarin was gonna not be as sprightly when we first got aboard, and we want to untie bow to stern because we want the bow to kick so that we can head out.
Okay.
Which Ilmarin, partly understands, but like your job is unsecure those ropes.
Untie this rope and that rope in this order.
Okay. She can do
Ilmarin,
that.
yeah, okay. So you're like, okay, bow ropes, no problem. Here we go. And that is when you see the small child running from your direction toward the forward castle of the ship.
Wow.
The small child is dressed in gray rags.
Is this does she recognize this this specific one?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Perception. 14.
No, but the child seems vaguely familiar. Like, you feel like maybe you've seen this child before recently. Like, maybe in the Purple Lady. Like, this was the child that you glimpsed.
Yeah.
And she goes toddling off toward the forward castle, where Vayne went.
Where Vayne went. Okay. Ooh, what do I do here?
The child looks back at you,
Oh no.
and you see that she's smiling really wide, like her smile is too wide for a drow face. She is a drow child. And she goes, ha ha.
I feel like Ilmar would chase after her because she'd be like worried about either like if this is creepy vibes, she wants to make sure Vayne isn't gonna get murdered by something creepy. Or if this is lost kid on dangerous ship, then that is must get kid out of way of danger.
Yeah, you cannot tell if that is a real child or not.
Yeah.
To all of your senses, that is a real flesh and blood child who is somehow on the ship
Yeah.
and headed into potential harm.
Yeah. So yeah, she would just be like, "Come back," and then try to go after her.
Okay. Vayne. You've done this before. You've stolen your ship, re-stolen your ship several times in the past. And it has been under tighter security than this, right? This is nothing. Mortal world security, nothing.
Okay.
All right, so you head down to the spell-jamming helm, which is in the forward castle of the ship.
Okay, that's
Okay.
weird. That's very strange.
You didn't build the ship.
Player is like willing to go with it, but that's weird. We don't put that in the front. Okay, but I'm doing it because you told me
It's the control center of the ship, and you have windows that you can see out the front of the ship. Glass steel windows. They are glass that is enchanted to be as strong as steel. So you can see the distant horizon. The sun is just starting to peek over the horizon. You can like see some light on the horizon. Everything looks fine. Spelljamming helm is shut down, however. It's a little bit of a Millennium Falcon moment, right?
banging on it.
This is the thing you didn't necessarily want your friends to see, which is the like rough, crude way that you try and get the helm to start working again.
I mean, we're gonna bang on it there for a minute.
So this would be an Arcana check.
Okay.
So-
Okay, I can try that.
Obviously, House Bleth's wizards have done some shit to your baby here.
25.
Yeah, and you okay, so you connect with it, okay, and you start peeling off their intrusions and attempts to try and take control of the ship. This is going to take you a second, but that was a success. Okay.
Angry. Gonna take a swig of the rum I just keep there.
Oh yeah. You just like bash a panel and it opens and you pull out this bottle of 2,000-year-old rum and and it's fantastic. It's like drinking God's blood. Okay. Shay, You are moving among the boxes on the dock. You're lost. You are feeling tired and weak and like your body wants to shut down because of this curse that is rising up within you. It seems like the more shadow magic you use, the worse it gets, which is not good because shadow magic is kind of your thing. But you're still following your shadow, who is just staying a little like just outside your view. Like you see little glimpses of him moving around boxes. And you turn around another set of boxes and you find yourself face to face with Illyra again, but she is not wearing the black and the mask. She is instead wearing a deep purple dress, so dark purple as to seem almost black, and wearing long silver gloves and a silver mask. And she says, "Pet, why would you forsake me in this way? Why would you abandon me?"
Abandon you? You're the one that keeps abandoning me.
Well, I am difficult. Is that not what you love about me?
No,
No.
it's not the part that I love. Never been the part that I love.
I bring you sorrow and loss. Do you not love these things?
No.
You see that her eyes are deep purple pits of light surrounded by darkness.
You are not real. You're not her. Go away!
Oh, I assure you, I am very real.
I will.
And I will have you, Naira.
I will-
soon.
I will try to push through, push past, whatever. Like, I will shove.
You gonna take a swing at her?
Yeah.
Okay. With what weapon?
Just my arm. I'm not trying to, like, draw steel. I'm just trying to shove her out of the way so I can
Okay.
keep running for the ship.
All right, you shove at her with your arm. She catches your arm. Her touch is cold. Like you have felt Illyra's touch, and it is like you can feel. Back when she was cursed, she had the dark, draining, necrotic touch that like you were resistant to, but you still felt it. You still felt like this, kind of like. It made your skin and your flesh itch, and it made your bones vibrate and feel weaker, right? It's like in the modern day we'd call it like radiation. Is how it made you feel, right?
Yeah.
But your spell scar would fight it off, and so you acquired this kind of like symbiosis and balance with Illyra, and so you two could touch each other. This doesn't feel at all like that. It feels like the cold, empty vacuum of never-ending hunger of outer space. And Shar looks upon you with those dark eyes and says, "You will be mine. You will come to me willingly. For that is what your life leads to. Sorrow and loss and nothing." And then she disappears. The
Okay.
shadow reappears.
Yeah. Okay, it's just kind
Mistress?
of like completely like utter shock and a bit of terror, honestly, on her face at this point, and she's clutching the arm where that Shar had grabbed.
There's a faint, like kind of like purplish bruise developing on your skin in the shape of a hand. Your shadow whispers to you, "Mistress, mistress, you should come Come this way. We are almost there.
She'll start stumbling and running and trying to reach the ship again.
Shadow looks at your bruise, at that mark. Ah, you have been touched by Lady Shar.
I don't want it.
Shar does not give you a choice, but you will always choose her. All life chooses her in the end. Come, this way.
She'll just quietly, like still clutching her arm, continue to.
Would you like to make me an insight check, please?
Yeah, actually.
Perfect.
She's super rattled, but I think that she's
A little bit sus.
a little bit sus now.
Mm.
25.
That shadow was speaking with a kind of divine reverence.
And she'll kind of slow and stop. No, I'm not following you anywhere.
What stays you, mistress? The shadow asks.
Stop calling me that. I'm not your mistress, and you are her servant. So why don't you leave me alone?
If I leave you alone, you will die. You are a fool. You are wandering through shadows that you do not understand. You need me. Do not be so quick to send me away.
Go away. I don't need anything you offer.
No.
You think I'll just die? If you think I'll die, then let me die.
No. You need me and I need you. And I will keep you alive until I have no further use for you. Come this way, child.
Can I tell on my own which way the ship is?
Yeah, make a perception check real fast.
Okay.
All right, we'll come back to you. I'll get to the others real fast. Okay, so Callista, you are untying those ropes. Your time in the Feywild and your general ranger training and experience has made you very good with knots, right? No problem, no problem. You're just untying those ropes, untying the ropes, untying the ropes. You can get through like 3 in one action. And then you get to the front of the ship where it is not a rope, but a chain that is attached to the ship. Like someone has forged this chain onto the ship itself. That one's a little harder to untie.
Well, bet.
You have used your action for the round, but you do see the chain and you can shout something or convey something. You know that Sorrow is still on the deck, and Vayne is... She went below decks. Okay, you don't know where Elmarin went. You assume that she's following her job, which is to detach the ropes at the bow and at the stern, right? At the back of the ship. What do you want to do?
So Callista probably looks at the chains and just shouts out, "Sorrow! Change jobs!"
Sorrow is having a hard day. She's having a hard night, but she's not too upset. There are guards charging toward the ship, and she sees them coming. As she's like rippling muscles, and her traps and her lats are fully engaged, and she's just turning this, the wheel to raise the anchor. And then she hears this change jobs from from Callista, and she's like, pulled in 3 different directions. Her eyes glow golden, and she says, "Oh, Elmarin's going to be so upset." And then she throws a fireball toward the oncoming guards, and then heads toward the bow of the ship. Okay. Ilmarin, you are heading below decks, chasing this drow child. She's staying slightly ahead of you, and she looking back at you and giggling in that weird haha sort of way. And you're not sure how this ship could have this long of corridors or this kind of maze-like layout. But you're pretty sure that you've been following this corridor for at least 100 feet at this point.
I feel like she's starting to get like feel that sort of edge of panic. Not
What?
panic, but like unease, I guess.
What's wrong, Mari? What's wrong?
What's the other thing?
Come play with me, Mari. Come play with me.
Who are you?
I think you know that. How don't you know that?
Who are you? And at this, like, she would immediately start to try to run away.
Oh, you turn around and the hallway is closed behind you. It just ends in a flat wall.
You're not real? I left you behind.
Very real, Ilmarin. You left me alone for too long, Ilmarin. I'm lonely, Ilmarin.
I want to lash out with some magic.
Right.
Let's go.
This seems to be the time. Yeah, you see that little child.
Yeah.
When you turn back around, the little child's standing there. She's got her hands behind her back. She's looking at you. She's wearing a tattered little, like, smock, basically, that, like, one of the underclasses of Men's of Baranzan would wear. Like, one of the involuntary servitude classes would wear. Well, she's a drow child, right? And she's looking at you, and she has your eyes. Which is not to say that she has pulled your eyes out of your face, but her eyes look much like yours. She's smiling wide.
They don't like that.
What's wrong, Mari? What's wrong? What's wrong, Mari? What's wrong? What's wrong, Mari? What's wrong?
I'm gonna use Holy Word.
Okay.
Because I feel like this is we use divine powers.
You speak a word sacred to illustrate. What happens?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what level I want to cast it at.
Okay.
Oh. When you reach 5th level. Okay. So do I have to cast it at 5th level to get extra dice?
Is it a cantrip that you're talking about?
Yes.
No, it just automatically happens. And it is based on your character level, not your class level.
Oh, okay, cool. Then in that case I get 3d8. Let me make sure there's no other stuff I want to do.
Okay.
Ooh, actually, on second thought, I'm gonna cast a Shield of Faith around myself.
Okay.
As she's just like hanging on to her holy symbol and praying.
I believe Shield of Faith is a bonus action to cast.
Is it? Okay, then I
Think
will do
so.
that and hit with the Holy Word.
Okay. So saving throw?
It is a spell attack, and I got a nat, or is it? On hit. That will on what? Oh, is it a? Oh, do you? What is spell attack? Okay,
You tell me.
sorry.
It's your
There we
spell.
go. I rolled 14.
Okay. You roll a 14 with your spell attack modifier. That hits what?
Or
does it hit a 14?
It is a 14 because I rolled a 5. It looks looks like.
Okay. The creature seems to be unaffected by your appeals to Illustrate.
Okay.
It says, no, none of that. Don't bring others into our conversation. It's just you and me, Mari, the way it's always been.
It's not. No matter how many times you try, it's not, and it never will be again.
Okay, we're gonna cut over to Vayne here. So Vayne, you are sweeping away like the shit they have done to mess with your spell jamming helm. They put like some kind of like pedestrian magical traps and seals on it to try and get into. Jen's video went down, so we're gonna pause for a second.
Sorry, I have to pee. Do I not turn the video off?
No, if you turn the video off, it'll mess up our layout. So you should leave the video on.
Okay. I just really
You
have
can
to pee.
you can cover it up with something if you need to, or you can just leave it on because it's blurry and we can't see.
All right.
Okay. I'll wait until Allie confirms that we're good to go. All right, we're still okay. Good to go.
Time out.
Okay, I'm gonna shift over to Vayne. So,
Okay.
Vayne, you have, brushed aside some of the pedestrian magical traps and like wardings that people have tried to put on. There is some poorly trained wizard who has been tampering with your spelljamming helm, trying to seize control of it. Fundamentally, the problem is you are attuned to it, and until you are no longer attuned to it, no one else can be attuned to it because that is how it was constructed. However, it is at that point that a woman steps from the shadows. A woman in red robes. And she is looking at you and she says, "Ah, so you're the one." And she is pointing a wand at you as well.
I am doing that thing where I'm pretending not to pay her any mind at all. I am still on task. Like, if she's gonna stand there and monologue, she can do it while I fix my boat.
By all means, unlock the helm for me.
I don't think you have permission to be aboard.
I don't think you have permission to be aboard. As I understand it, Rigante claimed your ship, though I care little for the legalities. I just want the spelljammer.
Well, she's my ship and you can't have it.
I think that remains to be seen. She is not going to attack you because she's waiting while you unlock the helm.
I'm gonna do like 99% of what it's gonna take to unlock the helm.
Okay.
I get, like, I would understand that that's what she's doing. She doesn't have the keys. She's waiting for me to put the key in the ignition and start the thing up, and then she's gonna, and this is not my first rodeo.
Yeah, that's what she's doing.
So.
Okay. We're going to shift back to Shay. So Shay, you were confronting your shadow. Your shadow says, "We are wasting time, Dark Song."
You're wasting my time. I don't care what you want.
You should. I am the only thing keeping you alive.
Well, if you need me then you'd better keep up.
Okay.
She'll try to start running toward the ship again.
Okay. What was the result of that perception check I had you make?
14, I believe.
Okay, yeah, you got a pretty good sense. Like, there's a big column of flame from some fool throwing a fireball, and that kind of like suggests to you the general direction that the ship might be. You
Okay.
leap up on some crates, you crouch down on one of the crates, cat-like, looking down at the dock and at the ship. You see a fire burning, a bunch of guards screaming in pain and burning agony, as they kind of like stop, drop, and roll from the fireball, and you can see the ship very well illuminated, and it is within another shadow dance, or you could probably leap to get to it pretty easily, or you could just run down or run across the gangplank, although that would be a lot of movement.
So, if I leap, can I hit? I don't even necessarily need to hit on the deck. Can I like leap onto the side of the ship?
Yeah, you can start running toward it to do that. You won't get
Yeah.
there this round, but you'll.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's what I'll.
The
that's what
the
I'll aim
shadow
for.
has been kind of leading you around a little bit, right, and delaying you a little bit, but maybe that's Shar's influence. Distracting you. It's hard to say.
So,
This whole thing has just been kind of a blur, right?
So she's gonna jump down and make a run for the edge of the ship.
All right.
So that's just
Crossbow quarrels start, lancing down at you. However,
full tilt.
you find that your shadowy body is resistant to these bolts. Like, they stab into you, but do very little damage. You take a total of like 8 piercing damage from 4 crossbow bolts that land into you.
Okay.
Okay. Callista. So you are looking at this huge chain, and Sorrow appears, and she goes, "What? What is it? Oh. What do you want me to do?"
Get rid of it. Have fun. And then Callista will flit off to the anchor.
Okay. So, you hurry back to the anchor wheel. You see it is mostly turned. Okay. So the anchor is probably mostly weighed, but like the wheel is starting to turn back as though the anchor is starting to pull it back.
Yeah. So she'll catch it and she'll start trying to finish out Sorrow's job here while looking over to the gangplank, keeping an eye on it.
Athletics check, please. Shay, you also see that there's this little fey spirit that's like moving among the guards and like frustrating them and tripping them up and distracting them and scaring them and having a great time doing it.
Good for it.
Yeah. All right, Callista, what do we get?
Only a 7.
Only a 7. Okay, you catch it. Oh, as it pushes you down toward the deck. That is too heavy for you in your current state.
I just need to keep it from dropping, so...
Yeah, what do you put between it and the deck to stop it from turning? Your body is a possible answer.
That sounds like a great way to end up in a lot of pain.
It's like a great way to get crushed.
That is a form of being in a lot of pain, yes. That would be accurate. I've got one good option here. I'm gonna have to use the scimitar.
Ooh. You wedge
Like
your
in-
sword in there?
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to wedge that blade in there.
Okay. You wedge the blade in, and the wheel kind of... You hear this whine of the steel, and the blade just... It bends, but the wheel does stop.
And then
Okay.
she'll go back to trying to move it how she can to take pressure off the weapon, but
Okay. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna go to Sparrow, or we're gonna go to Sorrow. Sorry, I mix it up. It's only like a couple letters different. Okay.
It really is, yeah.
Sorrow is at the bow with the chain, and none of you are watching her do anything. But like you could see this red glow start to emerge from the front, and you hear her just. Okay. Ilmarin, you are face to face with this small drow child that is not a small drow child. Mari, what do you think you're doing?
trying to banish you. Actually,
Why?
That's
How?
not a bad idea.
Why would you try to banish me, Mari? I am the only one who loves you. You know that.
No, what I know is that you are something evil, something wrong, something is not right, and you do not belong inside my head.
Mari, why would you say things like this? And the drow child starts weeping. Tears of blood.
I want to attempt a banishment.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, that is a saving throw, yes?
Charisma saving throw, yes.
Okay. Please make a charisma saving throw.
Oh, me?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, spicy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
24.
Okay. Your banishment does not succeed.
Do I feel that on myself?
Yeah. Mari. No, you can't hurt me. I am you. I am a shadow, the true self. I am you, Mari. And I always will be. Always.
So now I feel like the drow instinct of how dare somebody tell me they're better than me kicks in.
Uh-huh.
And she's just like sort of stomping around trying to figure out how to get out of here.
Make another charisma saving throw, please.
Okay.
You're just kind of
Oh.
asserting your own stubborn drow will.
Yeah. I got another 24.
Okay. The drow child disappears. This whole strange corridor disappears. And you find yourself in the helm with Vayne and the red wizard who is pointing a wand at her.
Hi. Why are you threatening my friend?
Okay, Vayne. Ilmarin appears. You have no idea where she came from. She's just suddenly standing next to you.
I am just gonna be like, could you deal with that, please? And I'm gonna keep like working on the ship. Ilmarin is there. I'm not gonna care why exactly. I might ask later, but now there are more pressing things than what the F just happened. So I'm like, oh, there is a person here who might do the fighting for me. I can do the fighting if I need to, but I would like to do the getting the ship out of the harbor first. So if Ilmarin can just like distract this person while I finish what I'm doing, that'd be great.
Okay. Yeah, the red wizard unleashes a lightning bolt from that wand.
Can I counterspell?
Yes, you're gonna need to make a check though,
Yes.
because it is an elevated lightning bolt.
Okay. What is the...
Counterspell
it
also
says
works
that-
a little different.
Yeah, it says that they make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
sure. Oh yeah, it still happens. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
I
You think I would have been prepared with a bunch of dice to roll, but you'd be wrong about that.
That's okay.
Okay, so this lightning bolt rips through. Vayne, do you want to react to the lightning bolt in some way?
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna, I'm gonna go ahead and cast shield back at it so that I'm not gonna have to worry about
Okay.
it. for a
Well,
minute.
shield would only actually apply to like something that required an attack roll. So you'd be looking at like an absorb elements or something like that,
Yeah, absorb elements is actually fine. I got that.
which
Wait,
I'm
so-
pretty sure you have.
Oh yeah, I in fact do.
Okay.
So yeah. So that is.
All right. So let's see.
See,
Let's
I
get
wanna see
some
how
dice
mad I
going
am.
for some lightnings. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Okay. Ilmarin and Vayne, I need you to both make dexterity saving throws, please.
13.
Oh, that was bad. Hold on. I got modifiers for this though. So hold on.
Okay. And Vayne, you said you wanted to cast Absorb Elements.
Yes.
Okay. So what Absorb Elements would do is that you would gain resistance to the attack, that like the elemental attack coming at you. So you take half damage from it. And then it would flow into your next melee attack. And the level at which you cast Absorb Elements would determine how much damage you would do with your next attack.
Yeah, so I have no patience right now, so we're gonna cast that at 5th level.
Okay, wow. All right. That means that you will do an additional 5d6 lightning damage with your next attack. And what did you get on your dex save?
Oh, that was bad. It has vanished. I can't tell you.
And
It was bad. It was like, I want to say it was 7. Like, it was bad.
oh,
But I,
Yeah,
it-
it was 7.
It was
Okay,
7,
yeah. You
It
both
was
you
7.
both blew the save. So Ilmarin, you take 51 lightning damage. Vayne, you also take 51 lightning damage, although because you have the resistance, it gets reduced to 25.
Okay.
And that lightning, which you have captured in your hand, flows along your arm, lighting up the runes, the tattoos swirling along your skin, and flows into one of your swords.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, actually, it just flows into your arm, and so whichever sword you draw, or if you just punch, whatever, it will still do the lightning damage. Okay. Vayne, would you like to take an action?
Now that I have all that extra oomph, I sure would.
Okay.
We're just gonna, like, slash at this fool with my sword.
Right. Did you want to cast one of your sword attack cantrips?
Yes. Let me figure out which one.
Okay. The most logical one to attack a single target is probably Booming Blade.
That's what I was leaning towards. So yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So go ahead and make an attack roll, please.
Okay.
So the red wizard looks at you like, what is happening? And then this sword, which sword are you using? Are you using the Sin sword, or are you
I'm
using
the Sin sword? Yeah.
Okay, so this long sword, which is emblazoned with runes all along its length, it is otherwise golden, this sword.
Nice.
And you just pull it out and it starts crackling with lightning. And let's see. So
I rolled a 17, but I get +4. Make sure that's it.
well, I mean, you get a lot more than +4.
Well, yeah, I do.
Your modifier is +11, so
So,
okay, so you're gonna hit it. You're gonna hit the wizard.
okay.
And so what it's going to do is the damage for the sword. We're going over this because Manda hasn't played like
I've never
fighter
played
wizards
anybody
before.
with any sort of like ability in combat. My characters like to run away.
So what you're going to do is you're going to do
Okay.
the damage for the sword.
Okay.
You're going to do the booming blade damage, which is 2d8 thunder damage.
Okay.
And then you're going to roll an additional 5d6 lightning damage.
That's amazing. Okay. We're gonna do this here because I don't know where my physical dice went. So
Okay? It's fine.
2d8 of thunder damage. So that is 1, 2, 3. So that is 8 points of thunder damage.
Okay.
And then I get how many d6 of lightning damage?
5. You can click the roller
Yeah.
multiple times to add the multiple d6s.
Can I?
Yep. Click the
5.
d6 multiple
There we go.
times.
5 d6.
There you go.
Well, that was very satisfying. It
Oh,
also came to
yeah.
20.
It's very satisfying. And then you're going to do the actual sword damage, which is just the d8.
Three more.
Plus 8 for your modifier. So that's going to be a grand total of, if I'm doing all my math properly, 29 damage. Wham! So you just slash across this wizard, who she tries to shield herself, but your sword just crashes through the shield, cuts this scorching mark across her. She's now surrounded by thunder power that will punish her if she tries to move away from you. Would you like to make your secondary attack?
Yeah.
Great.
Let's do that.
So in this case, you just roll the attack for the weapon itself.
So that is back over here. So that is just, I rolled the d20 and boom.
Okay.
That was 12 plus modifier.
All right, so it's going to be a 23 to hit. That hits her. And you're going to do 1d8 plus 8 points of damage.
7, so 15.
15 damage. Okay. You cut her down with your secondary strike. Wizard don't have a lot of hit points. Maybe Bless should have hired a more experienced wizard. That's what we're saying.
Oops. Sorry, not sorry.
Ilmarin is lying there like against the wall, like
Yeah.
from the electricity. But Ilmarin, you just witnessed like Vayne just efficiently cut down this wizard in just these 2 hits. One which was like this massive boom, like a clap of thunder and lightning, and then the other was just a casual like backhand take her throat out. Do you have a one-liner for this situation, Vayne?
Don't start no shit, won't be no shit.
Okay.
And I'm
All
back to this, like literally nothing just happened. I'm just back to what I was doing. We're
Okay.
getting the ship off the dock.
So the helm is basically a throne. And it is a throne with a sword motif. I don't want to say it's like the Iron Throne from Game of Thrones, but
But
there
it-
are swords kind of fused into this helm that Vayne hops up on, and it lights up. Each of the swords starts crackling. Runes appear along the sword's lengths, and other lights appear throughout the room as the Spelljammer powers up. Okay, you're ready to go. All right, and you wanna start moving forward?
I'm gonna gently start taking us off the dock, because I don't know. I can't see because I'm forward and not aft. I can't see that we're untied. I can't see if the anchor is completely weighed. So I'm starting, very slowly, and
Okay.
provided I meet with no resistance, then yeah, we're out of here.
Okay, it does feel like the anchor is weighed, but you do start feeling some resistance as ropes draw taut because someone didn't detach the ropes at the stern.
I'm gonna yell to Ilmarin to go astern and make sure we're untied. Like, I have not looked back to see if she's okay yet.
Yeah.
But like, we'll check if everybody's okay once we're out to sea. Once we're in international waters, my friend, that's when we can worry about things.
Okay.
Get us
She
off
is-
the dock.
She is very much not okay, but that's fine.
Just having a hard day. Okay, we're gonna cut to Shay real fast. Shay, you are running toward the ship. Ship starts moving. Those ropes at the stern are still holding it. I mean, it's straining against the ropes, right? Like whatever propulsive force is pushing the ship is probably gonna break those ropes eventually, but it's restraining the ship in place, at least for the moment. And the stern is the easiest, most obvious place for you to leap to.
Okay. How many ropes are there?
Two of them snap off, and there's just one strong, stubborn rope that's holding it in place.
Okay.
The ship, okay, like I said, the ship is made of this kind of silvery metal. Well, it's chromium, right? But it's not like people in the realms would have a sense of what that metal would look like, right? But that's what the ship is made of. And it lights up with silvery blue magic that's flowing around it as it starts moving. But that rope is just stubbornly clinging to it.
Okay. So I have a plan. Shay is running full tilt, like as fast as she possibly can, and she's going to draw that adamantine rapier because adamantine can cut through shit really easily. And
That's right.
she's going to swipe
It's also
it up.
crackling with this sizzling acidic poison because
Exactly.
that's what the scabbard does.
And she's and yes, rapiers still have a cutting edge, so
They do.
not
It's
a
just not
cut-
ideal. Like
yeah,
that's
it's
not
not
usually how
ideal.
you use them. Yeah.
But she's going to cut through it as she passes, and then leap
Okay.
from the dock to try to hit the side of the ship.
So you run forward, you cut, you do a forward backflip
I don't
toward the ship.
need a backflip. I'm not trying to backflip.
No,
No,
you gotta make it
it's
really
'cause-
cool.
No, because
It's gonna be really cool. Bear with
You
me.
have to swing down as you're going, and that pushes your top half forward. So in order to leap, your legs would have to just go with it.
Okay.
All right. So you're.
Let Eric be dramatic.
Would you like
I'm
to
trying
make
to be
an
dramatic.
Would you like to make an athletics check or an acrobatics check? Let's ask that question.
Acrobatics.
There you go.
Acrobatics.
Okay, so you're
I'm
doing
better at that.
you're doing some kind of acrobatic insanity to
Oh.
leap onto the ship.
No. Rolled a 1. Come on. Not
Oh,
now.
no.
Not now, guys. Not now.
You're trying to look really cool. You know, if this was not pre-recorded, then it is possible we would have inspiration from our beloved audience of viewers who do love us.
What's it gonna be, audience? Does one of you have the generosity to give Shay inspiration?
Or to look really cool.
It's gonna look really awful if they don't, and we go with it as if they did.
did.
Hey, look at that inspiration. Okay, you can
Okay.
roll your die again.
Okay.
Good job, audience. This is me having faith in you. Okay.
23.
There you go. All right, you leap, you cut the rope, you kind of like
So
defy gravity, hurling yourself through the air, and you're not gonna get to the edge. Not gonna get to the banister of the ship. You're gonna get
not
to the
trying to.
side of the ship.
I'm
Yeah,
not
well,
trying to.
You crash into the side of the ship.
Right. Can I do my thing now?
Yes.
Thank you. All right. So sure. She flips a little bit. We'll just do that. She lands on the side of the ship, almost like crouched, like almost like the 3-point landing on the side of the ship, and stays like that. She doesn't slide, she doesn't grip anything, she just stays like that, and then she just stands and runs up the side of the ship.
Wall crawling for the win.
Because Dompier, she can do that.
That's right.
Run up vertical surfaces. You know. Yeah, but she runs up the side of the ship, grabs the banister, and hoists herself over the side.
Okay, the ship is starting to pull free. There is, however, that big chain that's like attached to the front of the ship. So as you exit the dock, the ship starts listing stern side as though something is restraining it.
I'm sure it jolts too.
Oh, a little bit. But like at this point, since you're moving forward and the chain is attached to the front and it just like extends all the way out, and then it drags you in like a circle around the dock. Those of you who are on the deck, okay, Callista, you see Shay just come running up over the banister.
Took you long enough.
I got a little distracted.
I can tell.
And then you see the ship kind of shudders and starts listing to the side. And you hear this "Ah!" from the front, and you see Sorrow just in like full bodybuilder power lift mode, just holding this chain. The link is super red hot, and she just tears it apart. Just pieces go flying. And then the ship kind of like shudders again, and it is able to go straight. Vayne, the ship is now free of any ropes or chains or other restraining effects. Do you want to lift off?
No, I actually think we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way.
Just gonna sail for a bit?
Yeah, I mean throttle up, right, to get out of the harbor, and get into open water.
You see that there are other ships moving to block you in the harbor.
Oh.
It seems that your activities have not gone unnoticed. There are a couple of smaller ships moving to intercept you, and there is one large smuggling ship, probably, since it's running dark, coming into the harbor at this late hour.
Rude.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, we're gonna have to. I was
Okay.
gonna do this the easy way. I was gonna not let them in on all the secrets, but that's not gonna work, is it?
No.
I guess not.
No. Okay.
So the ship starts heading out to the harbor, and okay, you on the deck, and Ilmarin, this is the case for you as well. You're looking out these windows, which is fantastic. Like, this is an amazing experience that is like nothing you have ever encountered before. You on the deck are looking at these ships coming to intercept, and they're full of, soldiers and probably wizards. And then there's like a big dark ship starting to come into the harbor, and you can only see it now because it's running dark. Like I said, it doesn't have any lanterns or anything lit. And even if that ship is not trying to stop you, it would be a hindrance to you getting out of the harbor. So it looks like you're trapped. And Sorrow says, shortest sailing voyage ever.
And
Which is
Shay
when-
will,
Yep.
Shay will hold up a hand to Sorrow and go, no. Wait for it.
Which is when the ship starts lifting up out of the sea and into the air.
Oh man.
We're going full Peter Pan here.
And the folk of Westgate who are up early, baking bread, preparing for the day's mercantile efforts, punching some dude in an alley for his gold, look up at the ship starting to just lift itself out of the water and fly away from Westgate. Right over the patrol ships. You look down at the warriors who are in the ships, and they look up at you like, oh.
He makes a very rude gesture down at
Yeah.
them.
And you're coming toward the smuggling ship. And Vayne, are you pulling up as much as possible?
No,
Or are
actually,
you-
I'm gonna clip their main mast with my keel for sure.
Okay, I thought
for
so.
sure, for sure.
I thought so. That's what happens.
That's what
Like-
they get for running without a mast light. Like, there are laws about this. You're running without a mast
Vayne
light.
cares about laws.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying that I am the stand-on vessel in this instance because you don't have your running lights. So
There are
I
some
have done
illegal.
nothing wrong.
There are some illegal traders / smugglers coming into the harbor, and they look up at this flying ship, which was going to crash into them, and they're like, an ironclad ship? We're not going to win that fight. And then it starts flying, and they're like, oh, and they're relieved for a second, and then they realize, oh no, it's not flying quite high enough, and it clips off their main mast, which
Yeah.
goes shattering off into the sea, leaving them drifting listlessly.
Turn on your running lights, Cole.
And Vayne's voice suddenly booms out from around and under the ship, saying, "Turn on your running lights, you slarning idiots!" And then the Chromium drifts off into the horizon.
Right, listen, there are laws I don't care about. There are laws I actively think are useless and will break. But the conventions at maritime law, no. We run with our lights on.
Ironclad. They are ironclad.
The rules of the sea. But yeah, no.
Okay. All right. So you're on the Chromium. You're flying into the sunrise, essentially. Zhentil Keep is to the northwest of Westgate, so you kind of start heading that direction. Cora, do you have your hand raised because you have something that you want to add?
No.
Okay. You were just thinking. I get it.
Yeah, just thinking.
Okay. Vayne, you have successfully recovered the Chromium. However, as soon as you started taking off and the farther that you go in the Chromium, you realize that it is damaged. Like, the wizard who did some harm to it caused some damage to how the ship flies and how long it will stay airborne. And that lightning bolt probably wasn't good for the helm either, which is making some very upsetting cosmic horror screaming noises in your head as you are attuned to it.
Don't like.
You're keeping a strong face, but like the Chromium is obviously losing altitude
Yeah,
as you were headed along.
once we're sort of over open water, I will make the very conservative decision to put down and unfurl the sails. And we're just gonna sail the old-fashioned way while I try to make some repairs
Okay.
so that we can use the Spelljammer helm again when we get where we're going, and if we need to make another quick escape. The ship will sail like a regular ship if I need her to. So we'll let her do that out here when we're in open water with no one else around us, not inside of land.
Okay. All right.
Bless all of you, you're about to find out what a 19-degree heel angle feels like.
Okay. Ilmarin, it has been a minute or two since the escape from the harbor, and you are still nursing that wound from the lightning bolt. Do you want to do any healing on yourself?
Yes.
or-
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
So you're doing some of that. I'll let you go ahead and resolve all of that.
Okay.
And Vayne is clearly getting frustrated. Like, she was elated when you first got out of the harbor. Like, well, first of all, being blasted by that lightning bolt and then cutting down that red wizard seemed to give her a rush. right? And then the daring heroic escape seemed to like make her even more excited, and now she is kind of coming down into a more apathetic, depressed sort of frame of mind. Like that's just what your passive insight shows you about Vayne.
Are you alright? Do you need some healing? Ilmarin, because Jen rolled perfectly and healed exactly 51 hit points.
Whoa! Ilmarin's a good healer, that's what we're saying.
Yeah. And also she did prestidigitation on herself, so she looked exactly good as new.
It looks great.
Yeah. Well, you know, other than the like, I am panicking but maintaining a brave face.
Is Vayne okay? Does she need healing?
Vayne will not agree to any healing. No, we're just very focused.
Do you tell her about the issues with the ship?
Yeah. Yes and no.
Hmm.
He's not acting right. Something needs to be seen to. We're gonna put down. Just be under sail for a bit so I can try to figure out what's going on.
Okay.
This may be strange to say, but I find there is more comfort in flying through the air than sailing through that. It is sailing, yes, that is term
Sailing
for
is-
the mass of water that goes to horizon. Horizon is strange too.
Indeed. We will be sailing. You can also traverse a seagoing passage under power, but it's the power that I'm concerned about.
Is there something that we can do?
I don't know yet. Need to look into a few things.
Okay, I'm gonna shift up on the deck. So, Shay and Callista. First of all, Sorrow at the bow of the ship, having broken off that chain. Like her mind is blown. She's like, I thought we were going sailing, and now we're flying. This is amazing. And then she starts throwing up over the rail.
Shay, would you mind helping me with the anchor?
Yeah, sure. She'll
Yeah, the
get
anchor
up.
is
She's-
dangling under the ship. It's
she's
been
kind of
partly
like
lifted.
kind of nursing her arm a little bit, like it got wounded or something. She's just kind of like rubbing it and keeping it close. She'll follow toward the anchor.
Okay.
All right, I'll keep it from moving. You just put all of your weight and pulling in the other direction.
I'll give it a try. All right, so she'll start trying to pull it back in.
I will have in the briefing about what we're doing, made sure to tell you like sort of the safety rules about like not to put a body part in between anchor rod and mechanical thing. So you should be able to do this safely based on the information I gave you.
I didn't put a body part. I put my sword.
Swords are replaceable. Fingers are less so.
Yes.
IRL, I got my finger stuck between the anchor chain and one of the teeth of the windlass last year, and if my anchor had been any heavier, it would have been really, really bad for my manicurist.
Alright, so Shay is trying to pull down on the trying to pull the anchor up.
Okay, make an athletics check, please.
Okay, athletics. I'm not.
Aid
awful
action?
at that.
Yeah. You can work together, so it's athletics with advantage.
Okay. I'll just roll that a second time then. The 25.
Yeah, all right. So you manage to turn the wheel without breaking the sword. And you lift the anchor. There's much less pressure on it because it's not underwater right now. It's just in the air. It's still heavy, but it's not as difficult. And you manage to turn it and then lock it in place with the anchor fully weighed.
There we go. And I
Could've gone
think,
better.
yeah, probably. And I think during that, I think Shay's sleeve would have slid down, show that like.
Oh,
nasty-
that touch burned through Shay's sleeve, so Shay's sleeve is in
okay.
tatters. Yeah.
So there's a big angry bruise in the shape of a handprint on her arm.
What happened?
Scar happened.
Which all the more reinforces that perhaps you should speak with Ilmarin to get that tended to.
Perhaps. I think I'm sick. Something wrong with me.
Are we talking in addition to your shadow, or
Unrelated, think, to the shadow. Wherever that asshole is right now.
that's why you were expelling?
Yes. Yeah. That's why. It's getting worse.
Then you might need to look into what's causing it to get worse. And see if you can find a way to slow the process down. Take it from an expert.
Actually. Think I know, and I don't know what to do about it.
Well, the choices seem fairly limited. If you do nothing about it,
Will keep getting worse. And I don't know what happens to me if it does. Everything around me feels so heavy. Solid. I don't. Hard to process. Makes me
Speak
sick
with
to my
Ilmarin.
stomach.
if anyone has any way of coming up with a way to deal with this, likely going to be someone with divine inspiration.
Is at this point that Vayne's voice sounds again on those magical speakers, cutting through and says, I need one of you to rappel down and see what is stuck into the hull before we land in the water.
Go see to that. I'll handle this.
All right. And Ballista, I'm sorry for accusing you for everything. You've done nothing but help me. Shouldn't have done that.
I tried.
And then Shay will just kind of get up and head in to where the others are.
Okay. So yeah, I was going to explain to Amanda, your connection with the ship tells you that there's something stuck to the front hull of the ship, and if you land in the water right now, it will throw off how you can maneuver. You might get jammed on something immediately, so it's better to take care of that now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Callista, you're going to go do that?
Hmm.
Okay.
She's got rope.
Yep.
And I've got auto tiller, so I will like cut up and I wanna look at it because
Well-
depending on what it is, like
I would like to make a weird request of Vayne.
please. I love weird requests. I live for them.
So, and she looks uncomfortable and anxious and like, you know, but very resolved. And the fact that she's a drow and there are emotions on her face should say more than
Yeah.
those things you could see. I have perhaps a strange request, but not one outside your skill set, I do not think.
Right?
When we are going to rest, if you could please tie me up and make sure hands tight and mouth not able to speak, just to be safe.
I mean, Vayne is an expert in bondage, so that's no problem.
Yeah, the literal question is like, is this for fun or for safety?
More the latter.
I wouldn't say no in either instance, but there are conditions which I would need to meet. So if it's for fun, we might be one place aboard the ship. If it's for safety, someplace else.
It would be safety, yes, but precaution, yes.
Precaution.
Hmm.
I can handle that. I can tie you up however you please. Keep your mouth from speaking, your hands from moving, lest you accidentally utter magic in your sleep, perhaps? I don't need to know.
Yeah.
You have made a request of the captain of this vessel, and she has agreed.
Thank you. And she seems much more relieved and relaxed.
Great.
Sure. And the amount of rope on this vessel, like, just wait till I get to tie you up. You're gonna be impressed.
Like, there is a rope of entangling here. Like, we could do this.
I know how to make
Okay.
this awkward.
It's a weird request, but it's not difficult.
Yeah.
Vayne's
yeah.
like, I was gonna bring this up later, but we, you know, all right.
Again,
No.
a weird request.
But like we're good. No,
is
no.
that?
You have come to the right place, my friend.
Okay, so Callista, you have rigged up some rope, you tied it around yourself. Like I said, you go with knots, and you rappel down the side of the ship. You are, to be clear, like 500 feet in the air. But, you know, you trust your rope and you trust your knots.
Please let me get up there while she is still doing this, because there was such an easier way to do what they're doing, and I can't wait to be like,
Well, Ilmarin distracted you, right? So Callista did what Callista is accustomed to doing, which
No,
is, you know, she figured it out, right?
player would very much like character to witness what is happening.
Oh, yes. No, you definitely, you get up there and you're like, where's Callista? And Sarah's like, what? She's down there. What? She's throwing up over the different railings, so she's not throwing up on Callista.
Which is good, but like the halyard and there's a way.
Anyway, Callista, you rappel down, no problem. You don't even have to make a check. You see that it seems that when the ship crashed into the main mast of the smuggler ship, several of those beams impaled the hull of the ship. And now they are standing out from the hull like pegs or like spears sticking into it. And they have, you know, shattered raw ends that where the mass was torn away as the ship went past.
Okay.
For a second, those torn mass look red and dripping with blood. But you shake your head and the image fades. Like that's just a memory that occurred to you.
Okay.
So there are 3 like spears stuck into the ship.
Yeah. And there's probably a moment like right after that memory where she's just kind of staring into space.
Yep, you're just hanging there swaying in the wind.
And she just kind of sets her head in her hand for a moment and just lets herself cry. Probably does that for like half a minute and then gets to work.
Okay, so during that half minute while you were crying, Vayne, you have put into effect the actual solution for dealing with this. So you see that there are pieces of mass that's stuck into the ship, which is just kind of an inconvenience and a hassle.
Above the
But you-
waterline or below the waterline?
Below the waterline.
Which that makes sense because what I was aiming for. So
Yeah, like kind of near the bottom. Like if you'd gone up a little bit higher, probably wouldn't have done this. But you know, it's hard to tell in the heat of the moment.
so we're a
do,
full kill
however-
ship and we're in the keel. I got it.
Yeah, you do, however, see Callista just crying, just hanging there, you know, swaying in the wind. She's detached from the ship's hull itself, which, you know, kind of like swoops in a little bit. And she's just kind of hanging there, swaying back and forth, crying.
I am going to take the foresail halyard off the foresail, clip it to the rope she's on, and literally pull her back up onto the deck.
Okay, Callista, you feel yourself starting to kind of jolt upward.
Okay. And she'll get herself back under control before she comes back over the railing.
Okay, make either a charisma or wisdom save, please, to regain your composure.
Charisma or persuasion?
Just a saving throw, either charisma or wisdom.
Okay. Got it. That's a different thing.
I could see also a performance check. I'm not sure that's what you'd want to do, but you know, it would make sense. Or a deception check, if that's what you want to do.
That's more probably along the lines of what she'd be going to do.
Okay.
So let's do that. I'm going to use the human inspiration for that.
Like, I want to lie to the party and hold and keep my secrets secret.
God.
Okay, yep. No, I
These
understand.
dice are terrible.
I understand. You do it. You.
It's an 8.
Okay, it's an 8. All right. Callista is pulled back up. She was not expecting this. Okay, she was not expecting Vayne to lift her back up, and she is clearly like drying tears, and trying to put herself back together. But the whole party is standing there waiting.
I will be right there to like intercept her as she comes aboard, and I'll just sort of wipe the moisture from her face and be like, that ocean spray gets everywhere, gets in your eyes.
Now I need Vayne to make a deception check, please.
God, I'm
9.
Callista.
Okay, so
There's
Shay-
not a drop of water on Callista at all.
Shay,
Except on her face, and
Ilmarin.
it's salty.
Shay and Ilmarin, you pick up immediately on what's going on.
we
Even
even there?
Sorrow, even Sorrow picks up on what's going on. She's like, "What's wrong with you?"
Just Shay paused in the doorway, like,
Well, they had come up to the deck, right?
right, but
And
like
so
Shay
you-
had
so
gone
you-
into
Really?
the
Well, you were looking for Ilmarin, right?
yeah.
Ilmarin came up on the deck. This
Yeah.
is just another scene that we didn't
Okay.
get to yet. Because I want to focus on Callista. All right, you found Ilmarin. So let's rewind for a second. Vayne and Ilmarin came out of the forecastle at the same time that Shay was heading down to meet Ilmarin. And Vayne was like, "Oh, this is annoying, and I got to figure out what's going on with the hull. Where did Callista go? Why would she do that? There's such an easier
There's a better
option.
way to do
yeah.
this, yeah.
Okay, leaving Ilmarin and Shay to kind of just stand there next to each other for a second. And Ilmarin is clearly like holding it together, right?
He's very drow.
Hey, samesies.
She's
Yeah.
been through some shit. Shay is very much holding it together. She has also been through some shit. Sorrow comes up to the two of you and she's like, "What's wrong with you?" Because, yeah, she's very blunt.
Shay will look at Sorrow and like you just get that look like she wants to like she's trying to figure out what to even say to that, and then she just turns to Ilmar and she's like, "I need your help."
All right, let's see if I can be useful at something today.
Sorrow's like looking back and forth between the two of you. You can see the gears moving in her head. And she's like, "Oh, I didn't realize
What?
What are you talking about?
you. It's this drow thing, right?"
No?
No,
No?
no, I'm not. It has nothing to do with being drow. What are you talking about?
Anyway, Vayne goes "Zzz," to see what's going on with the hull. Sees Callista and is like, "Well, shit." She starts raising Callista back up because it's not really safe with her just hanging off the side of the ship. And so this is the context in which Callista reappears. And it is a testament to how little Callista succeeds in putting together her composure and how obvious Vayne's attempt to lie about what's going on is. That the three of you turn your attention to Callista, who is having this emotional breakdown.
So Vayne was less like trying to play it off for herself and more like to give Callista an out. Like,
Yeah.
okay, if Callista wants to claim it's the salt air and the ocean spray, Vayne's gonna be like, yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah, I know. It just
Everybody
didn't work.
gets that. Yeah.
Like
We're
it
just
was
very bad at lying right now. I'm
Yeah.
so stressed. I got splitters in my hull. I got landlubbers on my deck.
So I'm not sure Callista wants to have this full-on emotional conversation with the party right now. We might want to save that for the next episode when we have a little more time to do all of that. So why don't we call it here,
Okay.
and then we will pick up next time with some emotional processing, and
might bondage.
also perhaps the Spelljammer crashing. Who can say?
No!
Anyway, I have been Eric Scott DB, the DM of this campaign and other campaigns on the Dungeon Scrawlers. I'm a writer. You can find my stuff online. I'm a game designer. You can find my stuff online. You probably played some things that I've worked on. Awesome. Check out the Dungeon Scrawlers Discord. You can find a link down in the doobly-doo down there. If you put in !Discord, it will also pop out a link. We talk about this game and other campaigns. We talk about forthcoming things. We talk about various games. We talk about current events, everything that's going on. Our meme game is on point. I'm pretty pleased with it. Dungeon Scrawlers is a great community. Come hang out with us, and we'd love to see you there. Take it away, Allie.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alexander Pitchford, or Allie for short. I played Shay, who is still having a time. Having quite the time. It's been a lot. But I guess we'll have to see if she can get help next time. And I don't know. I guess am I a Vayne Callista shipper now? We'll see. Which is also awkward since I was also kind of a Shay Callista shipper. So we'll see what happens there.
Look, is it an either-or situation?
No.
Not necessarily.
This is a why choose situation.
Why?
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's it for me today.
All right, Cora.
Hi, my name is Cora, and for the evening, I played Callista, the Fae Scarred Ranger, whose her focus is on trauma. But we'll get there. We'll get there. You know, what better place for ships than a ship, right? Right. Yeah, Jen.
Hello, I'm Jen. Today I played Ilmarin, the Eldritch, or Aberrant Mind, Sorkadin. I can speak. Much like my character, apparently my brain is melting. Yay! Yeah.
Yay!
So that was a good time having a little bit of, a mentee bee, on main. But yeah, if you are interested in the stuff that I do, savagesparrow.com is my super awesome website for amazing nerdy apparel and accessories, and patreon.com/savagesparrow for checking out my really cool artwork. Minda.
Jen's artwork is really cool. I can attest. All of the stuff.
I'm wearing one of her jackets right now.
Is top quality. One of these days, I will appear on stream wearing that dress again because it's so cute.
It's so cute.
It's so cute.
Adorable.
I have been Amanda Cherry, thegingervillain.com, at Amanda the Ginger on most of the socials. Tonight, I played Vayne, Lady Blackblade, the shipper of ships, and seriously aggressively pansexual sea captain. If I am not back again, because this was in fact a guest spot, I will be sending Eric some things that she almost said that needs to get worked into conversation later on. Because you've now gotten me attached to a fictional seagoing vessel. And that is all very important to me.
Does it
Once
seem
again,
like I did this on accident?
No, you've never done anything.
We
by
hope to
accident,
have you
Crash,
back.
if I know you.
That's right. We hope to have you back, but we'll see
We'll
how
see.
your schedule accommodates. Thank you for being with us
Thank you
on
for
these
having
two
me.
sessions. We'll see if we have you again. Hopefully we will.
Yay.
All right. Until then, cruise the safe skies in the Chromium, not in a crashing airplane. Spelljammers are always a safer way to travel. And stick to the shadows. We'll see you next week.
Bye.